perpetrator of this, but they never listened. So they took him away from the school. That incident, the expulsion really took confidence away from him. He felt very bad, So he was just surprised why things are happening to him like that. So we told him, well, now the society look like the society don't even like you anymore because they are not helping you.
Yeah.
So why can't you just go away? So it was. I just wish that no parent would go through those things. That's why when I see parents crying because of the death of their children, I really feel for them. I really feel, because it's a pain, and even up to this point, I'm not seeing any effort by the government to prevent life crime. All what they are trying to do is to cure. Talking is to cure. You can't cure this thing all the time. You have to prevent it. And there are so many ways they can prevent it, but they don't want to do it seriously. It's very sad.
It is very sad.
It is very sad. They are creating the problem for this because, like, expulsion is one of the problems that the government should stop. As long as the children who are having this problem, they are not causing, they are not violent in class, or they are not, causing serious problem in class, there is no need to expel them. There's a way you can punish them, treat them in a different way, but don't expel them because it will take confidence away from them. And when you take hope and confidence from these children, what will happen? They will go and look for respect somewhere, and the gang leaders will come in and take them and give them respect, give them confidence, because the parents are not giving them confidence, the society is not giving them confidence, they don't give them hope. So the gang leaders will come and fool them, brainwash them.
So what do you think we should be doing about the children, though? Because there are parents out there listening to this show, and there is total bewilderment because apart from the fact that even if they say it's gangs and therefore people are in bad company, innocent people are caught in this whole warfare. So a young boy there was this story about this young boy who was walking to go and visit his aunt, and he lived somewhere else in the north of London. I don't know if he came down south. He went to visit his aunt in Tulse Hill or somewhere, and he was attacked and killed.
Yeah, wrong place at the wrong time. Yeah, but when the mainstream media will take him as a member of a gang. That's
but he didn't even live in the area.
That's the saddest situation we are facing. Anybody who is stabbed, a victim is branded a gang, is from the gang. And it's not correct. Majority of those who are being killed at the moment, they are just innocent children doing their normal businesses.
Yes, and they're all children.
But just because they are in the wrong place at the wrong time, their life is just cut so short, and they don't even consider them as victims. That's one of the things the media should forget about. They think they are perpetrators. No, they are not. So they are leaving the perpetrators to do their dirty tricks while the victims and their families are suffering. You see? So there are so many things they have to do. They have to look into the way they arrest children also.
Let's play some music first, and then we'll come back and talk about the way they arrest children, because that's something that we need to talk about. We'll come back.
Okay. So it's on, eh? So I don't know whether it's still on. I don't think it's...
You can't hear it.
No, it's not true.
You can't hear the song.
I can't hear.
Has something come off? Is it connected to something underneath the table?
It's connected. It was coming on.
Turn it, yeah.
Are you hearing something?
No. Your table, you should have something that you are turning.
Yeah, I'm turning on this one. There is something there to turn.
Yeah. at the end, where it's gets into the table, the end of it.
Yeah.
Try and play around with.
Anyway, it's not really.
It's not turning. Try that one. That one.
Oh yeah, this is coming on.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Can you hear it? You can't hear it.
It's coming on and off.
Everything is on here. Can you hear me when I speak?
Yeah,
In
yeah,
there,
I hear
in
you.
that one, in both.
Yes. It's on now.
Hello, we're back, and I've got an advert to play for you. It's about the national living wage and national minimum wage. Did you know it's time for a pay rise? The government's national living wage and national minimum wage are both increasing on April the 1st. By law, you must be paid one of these by your employer. What you receive depends on how old you are. For those aged 25 or over, the national living wage is rising to £8.21 per hour. If you're aged between 16 and 24, the national minimum wage rates are going up too. Check what you are entitled to by visiting gov.uk/checkyourpay. There you can find details and a calculator so that you can check what you should receive. Remember, the government's national living wage and national minimum wage is the law. It's a step up in pay. Check your pay at gov.uk. Check your pay today. Okay, so check. You may be owing, they may be owing you, the government may be owing you money, and this is your time to make sure that you make your money. Now, if you are just joining us, I have got Abu Shaw here, and we're talking about knife crime. Abu Shaw is somebody who has experienced knife crime within his family. His son Mohammed was stabbed 4 times in Croydon between 2013 and 2014. The family decided to take him away to Africa after stakeholders here failed to help us. And stakeholders failing to help are police, social services, and the school. Now, all of these people are supposed to take care of your child in all different ways. Social services have their job. The school is, when the child is within the school, protect, teach, and then, of course, the police, who are supposed to guard us and keep us safe away from criminals, etc. None of them helped. None of them. Abu Shaw believes that it was prayers that played a major role to keep him alive, and they're very grateful to God for it. Abu Shaw is somebody who's been on the television circuits discussing knife crime and the police reaction towards children and its implications on their life and future. And that's where we're at now. The implications of when the police do not view the child as a victim. So, what then happens? What then happens now? Your child is lucky to be alive, first and foremost, because he was actually attacked 4 times. And in all of this, you manage. Parenting is something which I applaud you on, because you didn't let go. You did not leave him. And you took him away from the scene totally, away from the whole continent, the whole of Europe. And you've taken him to Africa, where he is now safe. What do you think is, that the police can do, or that even the community can do to help our children?
I think that they should change the way they are. They should change the way they are doing the arrest in particular.
You think
charge.
Their attitude towards the victim?
Yes.
Yeah.
They should, especially if they are involved, like in, how do they call it, joint enterprise? Because there was a time before my son was stabbed.
Yeah.
He was spending most of his time with friends.
Okay.
So there was a time when they were about 4 of them were arrested. They said, one of them shoplifted, I think, Tesco.
Okay.
Two blacks, one Indian and one white boy.
Okay.
So, but my son never took anything, but because he was part of
he was in the group.
Joint enterprise, they were arrested.
Okay.
Okay, taken to the police station. So they called us. I was the one who was doing most of the going around. So I went to the place and asked them what happened. They said, well, it was a joint enterprise. So I said, well, it was there, but it didn't take. So this joint enterprise issue is just the way of it's spoiling their names, But they never listened. They just went and fingerprinted them. In fact, what happened? One of the boy who was white was just won.
He was cautioned.
He was just cautioned and left. My son told me that he said there were 4 of them, but because the other one was white, the police just advised him never to come back. So the other 3, the 2 black and the Indian boy, we are taken to the police. My son told me later that. I said, well, that's the way the system is. So they fingerprinted him and the others, and they took statement. We got a lawyer, and you can't believe they never even say, okay, well, this is the first time he was involved in something. They just charge him to court.
Somebody told me today, because I was chatting with people, and some people in the, you can bring it down that way. No, yeah, that's it. Somebody was telling me that when a child is cautioned, it stays on their books for life.
Well, that's what they said.
Yeah, and so, a guy did something, he was cautioned, it was a bicycle thing. He did something on a bicycle. I'm not sure. I can't remember what the guy was saying. But years later, when he was applying for a job, they found out that he was on caution. He'd been on caution 25 years before.
Well, that's one of the things they should try and get rid of. Because even though my son, they told me that his name is clear, but I don't trust them. I never believe what they are saying. Because the way they treated him, for no just reason. Taken to court, fingerprinted as if he's a terrorist. So I told them, I said, these are children. And you look at their condition, they are even drunk.
They were drunk?
My son was very tipsy that time. So they never even, they were not even aware of what they were doing.
Yeah.
So I told them, I said, when something like this happened, I'm not condoning shoplifting or other things. I oppose those things. But these are very, very minor offenses. Our children have committed. You have to find a way to punish them.
Yeah.
Not criminalize them, take them to court for what? So because when you do that, you're taking their confidence away from them and their hope. And when the school heard about these things, they too overreacted and expelled my son.
They expelled him?
Yes. They said because of it's a repetition. I said, but he never did it. It's just this.
It was in a group.
This obnoxious joint enterprise law that they brought just to tarnish the image of the children. That's one of the areas they should look into. Understand? And the police should be fair, because most people don't even think about the way the police are biased. They just think police numbers being cut is a big problem. I don't think it's a big problem. They should just have quality policing in the country. That's the main thing. Because the way some of the police, there was a time when the police came to our house in the morning, and it said, well, there's an incident in Croydon, and they suspect our son, Mohammed. I said, which Mohammed? They said, Mohammed. They even show his date of birth. I told him, I said, you've made a mistake. He said, no, we have to come in to check. We let them in, they check in the house, they saw nothing. I said, well, this moment you are talking about, he has left this country 3 months ago. He's in Africa. You know, they were shocked. I said, yes. I said, well, so now I know how you are treating these children. I know because he's Mohammed, he's black, he's Muslim, he has 3 disadvantages. I said, that's why you are doing this. He said, no, it's intelligence. I said, well, your intelligence is very wrong. You can't just come and molest us in the whole area. You see them, they coming as if they are coming for a terrorist. 3 cars with sirens, you know. We say you have made us as if we are criminals in this place. And what you've done now, you can't even apologize. You've made a mistake.
Did they apologize?
They never apologized. They were so ashamed and they left the place, the house, you know. So, you know, I don't have any confidence in this police. I'm telling you. I've seen it myself. I don't have confidence in them. Serious.
This is getting worrying.
So that is why the knife crime is existing, because as I'm talking to you now, they are criminalizing the children for shoplifting. As I'm talking to you. And this will be the children in 5 years' time who will be taking knife to stab people. Because
so you feel that children internalize all the racism and hurt that they feel, and then they take it out.
Yes.
And then they go and stab people.
Because the guy will recruit them and give them confidence and give them hope.
And tell them that, you know.
Yes.
And then say,
and they will graduate from smoking, taking drugs, to knife, then to gun. You know, that's the way they graduate. You know, and the gang leaders are taking advantage of this loophole. You know, the system is not really taking care of these children. They should find a way to punish them for minor offenses. Serious offenses, rape, murder, that's different. That one, they should pounce on them serious. But when these children commit very minor offenses for the first time, and most of them are drunk, you know, they are intoxicated, they should find a way to treat them, rehabilitate them, punish them somehow, so that their future will not be damaged.
No.
You know, tell them, say, well, you are our children. We still want you to be in education and other things, but don't give the impression that they are unwanted. That is why knife crime will never end in this country. It will never end.
You mean it will never end unless it is addressed properly?
Unless it is addressed properly. From the grassroots.
Yeah.
To stop criminalizing children very early for minor offenses, you know, for being discriminatory.
Which then brings us to another issue, which is the matrix. The police have a thing called the Metropolitan Police Service Matrix. Now, this matrix has a list of names of people who they think are stabbers and, you know, troublemakers, etc. And so they will go to those places and arrest people when a stabbing occurs. They also have a feeling that they know where the stabbings will occur. They can predict. Now, if the policemen are now, soothsayers?
They are soothsayers.
Yeah, now they can tell the future, and they can tell when stabbing is going to happen. Now, this matrix, people are talking about it, that it is a wrong tool, and it is working for a wrong problem, because when the system is racially discriminatory, it stigmatizes young black people. So innocent people can be added into the group, and suddenly you are marked, you are stigmatized, you are in trouble all the time. Anything that happens, even if you are in Manchester when it happened in London, there you are.
Well, that is why I'm saying it will be very difficult to eliminate a knife crime in this country. I just feel sorry for the innocent victims. Because the matrix they are talking about, I don't think there is any sense in it. And I will not be surprised if my son's name is not in there.
You will not be surprised if your son's name is in there?
I will not be surprised, seriously. His name will still be there after I live in this country 5 years ago. I will not be surprised, seriously. Because it is like a targeted format, you know, to reduce the population of
black young boys.
Yes, that's what they are doing. Because
young black boys.
If they are really ready to solve this problem, they will solve it. This is the government, they have the power. They know the addresses of these gang leaders. They know where they are selling drugs. They know the addresses. They can't tell me they don't know.
But they are not interested in that.
Yeah,
they are interested.
Because because they know that's the source of the problem. If they eliminate these things, the problem will be solved. Because most of the children, they take hard drugs, they smoke while they are doing these things.
Do you also think that possibly with these stabbings, white people are also being stabbed, but they don't make any noise about it? They only make noise. The media makes noise about the blacks, and the percentage is not even as big as, but they will always hone in on the black children who are doing this rather than it's a countrywide issue. Do you think that?
Of course, that is the reason. If it was the other way around, if we are having more white victims being stabbed, this problem will have solved. Automatic. I'm not wishing it on any child.
No.
Okay, but if it was the other way around, we have more white children being stabbed, the government will pounce and solve the problem immediately. But because it's the ethnic minority who are the victims, I think that's why they are paying in lip service. They are only pretending to help. They are pretending. Just imagine the last program with Victoria Derbyshire. Those family who were there.
Yeah, the women. I saw the mothers.
Yeah, they were complaining. They were even appealing to talk to the Prime Minister or the Home Secretary, the top government official. Can you imagine? Victims of stabbing, those families who are crying. No government official has ever met them to even console them, to talk with them. Then how will you solve a knife crime when you don't meet people who have experienced it? So it is just lip service. I'm telling you, wasting money. Anytime you hear them, we have 100 million spent on that. That money is not going to the victims. It's just going to the directors. They share the money. So it is very sad. That's why people should pray. People should not depend too much on politicians. Just pray to your God. Pray in the churches. If you are a Muslim, you pray hard for these children. Because that's the only way they'll be able to survive.
So what if you are not a Muslim or a Christian?
You have to
what
do
you
it.
Do?
We are from a Muslim family, but we had pastors, some of my friends, they prayed for my son, seriously. We are going to the church because it's a God house. God will answer. If God don't answer in the Muslim way, God will answer in the Christian way. But we have to pray. That's the only advice I have for our parents, who are suffering. Because our children, to be frank, this time, even when they are going to school, you are worried. Families are worried until they are back from school.
Yeah.
You see, so it is a very difficult situation that the government should take it serious.
To hone in on and deal with the situation as it is.
Deal with the situation. Stop criminalizing children at a very young age.
This is a very sad thing that we're discussing here. And if you're just joining us, we're talking about stabbings, knife crime in our black communities and how very little is being done to physically help, actively help the victims, the parents, the people around, and how much we all need to do something to help the situation. There is this other issue where people feel that there's a lot of talking and discussions and meetings going on, and yet nothing really.
No action.
There is no action going on
action
at all.
Because the cause of all this problem, Kiki, is the drugs also. Because most of the children, no sane child, any child who is sober, who does not drink or smoke, will never go and shoplift. They will never do it because their mind is set. They know what they want.
Yeah.
These are young children. Even there was a time when I told the police and the social service, I said, the problem you are seeing on my son is because he's drinking and smoking. We should find a way to help to let him stop. They told me, what they said? They said it is his right to smoke and drink. I said, but we are talking about a child here who is growing up. His organs are not even matured yet. You should not say he has right to drink and smoke taking. These are the things that making them almost go crazy. You can't tell me they have right to.
Yeah, but they say these things, and they don't want you to discipline your child.
Yeah,
either.
but that's the problem. When you discipline them, they say you are smacking them. It's not reasonable. It's
and
reasonable.
They'll take your child away. And then they take them and then leave them in the areas where they become vulnerable, can't do the drugs freely, and then they are useless to the community.
That's the dilemma people, most parents are facing.
Yeah.
They have made the parents less powerful. They make the children, more superior than the mom and dad.
So they've taken your power away.
Yes.
So that you cannot discipline your child. And then yet they are not doing anything to help you.
And when you discipline them, because they always brainwash in school, also tell them, even when they are doing their PE, these children, the teachers look at them when they are changing into they look with their body if there's any mark or something. If there's any mark, they will say, "Oh, where did you get this?"
Your daddy beat you.
Daddy beat you, or mommy smacked me. Then straight off, social services in. So parents are now scared to discipline their children.
Yeah.
And when you don't discipline them, the street will discipline them. And when they are in the street doing bad things, the parents get the blame.
Yeah.
So it is like a nanny state. This nanny state issue, the government should look into this nanny state because the government is like the parent now. You see? So they have to look into this and make sure they tell the children that your parents have power over you.
It's not even having power over you, but your parents.
But they have rights to discipline you.
Yes. Your parents brought you into the world.
No parent will go and kill their child.
No.
Even though there are some parents who are useless, I know that.
Yeah.
But that's a very small percentage. But 99% of parents like their children to grow up well and prosper more than them.
Yes.
But if they are scared to discipline their children, how will the society, how will they grow up? You see, so it's a very difficult situation the government has put the parent in, this nanny state issue. You see? And most times when some parents also, they blame other parents. Hey, my children grow up well, they are doing very well. Those parents should just count their stars lucky, seriously. It's not like they know how to train children more than the other children or other parents. It's just luck. I'm telling you, because I know. Nobody will tell me about this, because before I used to blame parents myself. But when the things started happening with me, and I know it's not our fault, it's forces outside, even though we took some blame also, because we are not 100%.
No, you took it for granted that he was fine.
Yes.
And you trusted because you had older children
who have come up without problem.
Yeah, they didn't have any problem. So I know what you mean.
So it's hard.
I know what you mean.
So, Kiki, I think the government should really come down to basics and forget about curing. They should try and prevent.
Now, if anyone is listening and can let the government know, or if anyone in the government is listening, which I know 2 people are, and also all of us need to help our children. We need to do a little bit more. And, so what in the Bible, you're Muslim.
Yes.
In the Bible, they say spare the rod and spoil the child. Yes. What is your view on that? You agree with that?
Yeah, well, as long as it's reasonable. Because you can't...
Reasonable.
All of us, our parents never spared the rod on us when we are misbehaving.
No.
Just to bring
Smack
us to
your
attention.
child here, yeah.
And even if we don't do it, but...
Basically, the children don't respect.
No, the children, they know the law more than the parents now. Because that's what they are taught in school. I don't think they even teach them maths and English anymore. They know the law and child abuse. They are so quick to quote because that's why they're telling them. So parents are scared.
Yeah.
So it is a big, big problem. It is a big problem they should look into, and make sure all the stakeholders, the police, the crime prosecution services who are just so quick to charge these children to court, spoil their future. They too, they should go back to the drawing board and find a way to rehabilitate these children, especially for very minor offenses.
But you know that the prisons do not rehabilitate the children.
No, it's the worst place to go. You see, so You know, the schools too should find a way. They should forget about this expulsion, especially when the child is not violent in class, or it's not, even if they are obstructive. Find a way to, like a detention sort of in school, so that after school they will still be in school to learn.
Write lines or something.
Yes, give them 2 or 3 hours to teach them what they have missed in the normal class.
Yeah.
You know, and they will pick up. But if you kick them out and take them to those centers where other trouble children
they don't even go to the centers.
Yes.
Most times the centers, I don't know how it is done, but truthfully, some of them don't even get there, and then they're on the streets, and it's these children on the streets who then are feral.
And these centers, it's a waste of time.
Yeah.
These centers is like when you bring trouble children from different areas and bring them together. So each one will explain his own experience or our experience to one another in that center. Then things will get worse.
Yeah.
Someone who has committed a minor offense will admire someone who has.
Was a bigger offense.
So it looks
so
like,
you did that?
Yeah,
oh, wow.
Yeah, so this center is one of the things they should abolish. Centers is a waste of money. These guys are just making money for nothing, these centers. They should, in fact, divert the money to the schools and make them have like detention after classes for students who are disrupting class. Have a special class after school, 2-3 hours. Pay the teachers. There are some teachers who will do overtime to teach the children, as long as the children are in a corridor.
Well, one of the things is the Tory party has cut down on all of this after school things, so teachers are not being paid.
Well, that's the problem.
So it's just a vicious cycle.
That is the thing.
It's a vicious cycle.
And the Tory also, they have not helped the situation. This too much cut. Teachers are suffering, not too much pay. Now we even had the doctors are having going mental. Just imagine, doctors who are supposed to cure you, they are now going crazy. Then how can you cure a society?
They're having mental issues.
The teachers are leaving their jobs in droves because they can't discipline children. And children beating them. So the society is really broken. It's broken.
So this is a broken society.
It's a broken society.
On that note, we'll play another song, and then we will come back and talk a little bit about how do we solve this issue. I don't even know what song to play. I'm feeling so sad because this is quite a big issue. Can you hear it?
Yeah, it coming on off. It cutting on off, That's coming. Interesting.
All your points are very important.
No, but they don't listen. They only listen to those charities that want to grab money from the government. They don't want to solve the problem. Serious. They don't. The government is powerful. If they want to solve it, they will have solved it long time ago. But they are not interested because majority are this. If it was, if it were other way, they would have solved that problem a long time.
We're coming back.
Okay.
We're back, and we're back. We're listening, we're discussing knife crime on Kiki's Chat Show. Today, Wednesday, the 24th of April. Knife crime is something that has affected particularly the black community. Abu Shor is here. He's had first-hand, experience on that. His son was stabbed 4 times in a space of a year between 2013 and 2014. He had to remove him from the country because nothing was being done to help. He has been on the television circuit. He's been speaking to social welfare people. He's been speaking to courts. He is actively speaking to everybody who will listen, to schools everywhere, to try for them to pinpoint the actual perpetrators, the main people who are and who know the people who are causing this whole discontent. However, nothing is still being done, and victims are rather being blamed. Parents are being blamed. And, according to Abu Shor, and all parents will know that you just can't keep an eye on your child 24/7, because there are times when you will be at work and you think your child is at school. He ends up in a park. He gets stabbed. What do you do? So these are the issues. In the meantime, I need to read you something. And it's for Change for Life. We've been talking about Change for Life for a few weeks now. And Change for Life is a challenge. So all you do is download the Change for Life Food Scanner app, take a screenshot of the app, upload it on social media, and tag ABN Radio UK and Change for Life UK, and you could stand a chance of winning a hamper filled with low sugar products. Make a swap when you next shop. Make a swap when you next shop. So that's Change for Life. Now, Abishol, where do we go from here with this?
It is a big problem. They should go back to the drawing board.
Mm-hmm.
Because in my last interview with Victoria Derbyshire,
mm-hmm.
she asked me whether my son wants to come back. I told her, I said,
to this
no.
country?
Yeah, he said,
I was going to ask you that will he come back?
No, he's not really ready to come back, and he's scared because almost all his friends who
mm-hmm.
are here, some are either dead or they are in long imprisonment.
His friends?
Yeah, those who are with him.
Some
of them, yes.
Those 4 boys who he started his friendship with.
Yeah, some of them, yes. Some are in jail, long imprisonment.
Mm-hmm.
Then some are dead. So it's terrible. So he's so scared to come, and even ourselves, we are praying very hard for him to just stay over there because things are good for him there. He's in college, doing very well, So, you can just imagine how desperate the situation is. Someone who is even scared to come back to his country. Despite the lack of facilities there, the opportunities are all here, but he prefers to be over there without opportunities, as long as he's safe,
mm-hmm.
than to come back. So the government should really get ready to solve this problem. I hope they will listen and solve this problem from the grassroots. It is not just talk about making matrix and this spending money in the wrong place. They need to help the victims.
You need to speak into the microphone. People are having problems.
They need to help the victims. They need to go back to the drawing board, as I'm saying. Otherwise, it will go on the next 5-10 years. Because, like what I said, some of these children who are they are at the moment being criminalized. At the moment I'm talking to you, it is happening. Mm-hmm. For minor offenses.
One of the things that some of the people are saying is that, what about the central government's role in this? They adopt policies which force parents to work all the hours just to make a living. No one has time to parent. In the past, it didn't matter because communities supported each other. Now we have communities where you don't know who your neighbors are. Yeah. You can't trust your neighbor. You can't trust anybody. So really, your children coming home from school, etc., is...
Well, that is, it is a big problem because these children, they are British children. No child is better than another child. They are all British children. And some of these children, their talent is lost, just because of this type of problems.
Yeah.
Because the government is not helping, So that even like my son, he started as a very good, at the age of 5, he started playing football. You understand?
Yeah.
As far I know, is the country has lost a very talented player.
Your son?
My son was playing very good football.
Very good footballer.
Yes. From the age of 5, he played for very good teams. He was at Crystal Palace. He played for Fulham Youth. So it was a talent that England will have benefited from.
Yeah.
And some of his colleagues, I know some of them who are playing Premier League at the moment, 19, 20-year-old. I know them. We are all going when they were young. They are playing for big teams. So, and my son was also top.
A very good footballer.
Yes. So, that's why I always wonder why the government is not serious to take care of all children, make all children equal. Because they say that children are equal, but I don't think the government really taking all the children equal.
You feel that the white children are more equal than the black children?
They don't. Because otherwise, you will not criminalize children at a very young age for minor offenses. And when you look some of these crimes these big people are committing, and they go scot-free because they are rich, get the best lawyers, they go scot-free without any criminal record. Then a child who shoplift £1 in Tesco, is criminalized at that age, especially when their condition is they are intoxicated, they are not normal the time of committing that crime. It is really not fair. So the problem starts from those areas. They have to stop this criminalization of children at a very young age for very minor offenses.
No, but then they give the children a lot of power at those very young ages.
Wait. All that one is the same problem. The parents don't have the power to discipline their children. They are scared. There are a combination of a lot of problems joined together causing all this knife crime.
Yeah.
Because from drugs, from smoking cannabis to drugs, they graduate to knives, then from there to gun. And that's the way. And these gang leaders I'm talking about, they know the weakness of the police and the authorities. They know. So they exploit that gap, that loophole. They bring in the children, recruit them, to swell up their membership. And the police know all this. The authorities know. They can't tell me they don't know where the gang leaders are. They were addressing. They know very well. If they were ready, like the way they are fighting terrorism, they almost succeeded now. If they can succeed in finishing ISIS, I see no reason why they can't take care of gang leaders in this country. They know them. They know the statistics. They know I had it on radio. There are 270 gang groups in the country. They know.
We've come to the end of our program.
Yeah, thank you very much for the opportunity. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for coming anyway and telling us your view and, bringing us, because it's terrible what you said, because you went through it. You may view it in a different way, but for us listening to it, it's a terrible, terrible situation. And especially when you have children. I'm a helicopter mom, so now you have made me into an aeroplane mom because I'm not helicoptering anymore. Now, and my children are grown, they're not children anymore. Okay. So can you imagine? The whole thing is stressful, it's frightening, and, the feeling of the fact that, black children don't matter, and therefore all of these things are happening. I don't know. I am at a loss for words, and that's not me at all.
That's all.
Yeah.
Prayers.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Abusho. Thank you for coming. Thank you for... I wish we could have carried on for another hour.
Yeah, it's all
but
right.
this is fine. You can come back. I'll make sure that I'll keep in touch so that you come back. I've actually met you before,
Yeah.
people. Me and him have been on television shows.
GNTV.
Yeah, GNTV, talking about world issues, African issues, etc. So, yeah, I mean, we know each other. So I'm going to get you to come back, and then we can talk some more about whether we've made any inroads or how things are going regarding our issues, especially us, you know, black people in our black community.
Yeah, what we have to do.
Yeah,
you know,
indeed. I shall leave you guys with some music. I don't know, what did I play before? So, okay, I'm going to play Becca, my girl Becca. Oh my God, I can't do this. My girl Becca. Yay! Okie dokie.
Wow, nice music.
It's very hot in here.
Yeah, I think we need to take me one here.
You want to take a selfie?
You take me here, but selfie is...
You stand there, I'll take you. I can see Explore is on. Everyone's on. People, bye-bye. We shall talk some more. You can't see me because I'm so far away. And if I get up, you'll only see my stomach, which you shouldn't see. So, bye-bye.